Welcome back on this channel. Today I'm talking about creativity and individuality, the role of individuals in organizations in order to promote creativity, to open up to more creativity. My name is Flash. I'm teaching consciousness, different ways to perceive the world, yourself, to see deeper in order to open up to new opportunities to act, to achieve, to accomplish, which are not visible from where you are now. The other day I was talking to a very nice woman. She's head of HR of a huge organization in Germany. And they are responsible for, let's say, for labor in a certain way. I do not want to reveal the identity of these persons I'm talking about, of course. And very, very smart person, very pleasant, very nice to talk to this person. And there was also a gentleman, and he was also a high-rank official in this organization, also very smart, very precise, really not devaluating anybody. It was really great. So we're talking about certain projects. It was really interesting, and we agreed upon, let's start to go this path down. Long story short, meanwhile, the political climate has changed. The topic's no longer important. It's now a year, so we know from systemics, if you don't do things right away, they take longer and longer to be done. Anyway, it's not a critique, it's just description. I met this gentleman in a different context. It was a kind of public lecture of a very famous sociologist, and we had really an interesting talk, and we were talking about the role of individuals in organizations. He says, well, yes, sometimes there are topics and you cannot promote them, and my attitude is I try to find allies. And I think a lot of you who made it to this video are looking for allies in their lives, in their professional life, allies who can support them, and this is great. However, if you have some creative ideas and you go out there and you always are heading into the same attitude and the same modal operators of impossibility, as I call them, this kind of oh no, we have not thought of this, no, the regulations for our budgeting and all these things, no, we have never done it, oh no, the minister says no, the CEO says no, this is no that. You might really lose a lot of energy and you really become frustrated. Maybe it's an interesting experience to explore frustration. Maybe it's not an interesting experience for you. Maybe you send it away. Maybe it's more important for other people to explore frustration. Maybe you've already had your portion of that. So I thought about that, and I was kind of, when I say thinking, it's a mixture between thinking and meditating and letting things loose and wait until things come to me. It's really a little bit different than other people would define thinking. I was a little bit thinking in my way about it, and I thought that's really interesting. Because it shows something which is so familiar to all of us, and there's nobody to be blamed. There's no mistake. It might only not be appropriate to go on and to ascend to a different level of your consciousness, so that you can find easier ways to create and to co-create with others. The interesting thing is that we have learned in our education, in our culture, not only in our lives but over generations, we have learned that we have to be aware of the outside world all the time. We have to analyze the outside world. And this helped us for a long, long time in a very, very good way. There's nothing wrong with analyzing. But if you go over a certain threshold with analyzing, all of a sudden your strength flips into a kind of weakness, of helplessness. You analyze the people out there and say, why don't they support me? Why do they think like that? Why are they like? And in this way, I'm rooting with the Buddhists who say, don't ask why. Wrong question. Ask how. Because if you ask why, All the answers will come to you to answer this question, why this does not work. But this is actually not what you want to know. You want to know how it works. You do not want to know why it doesn't work. I mean, it might be an interesting information, but if you get a tsunami of explanations why things don't work, you really might feel smacked down and pretty helpless. So be aware of what type of questions you ask. This is one thing. The other thing is we have learned to support our environment in order that we feel better. And also this is a very smart idea of being egoistic, to support the environment to feel better. So what happens in a practical way, people go out in organizations, they try to convince others all the time. And they get stuck. They get stuck in three-dimensional consciousness, in a certain layer of thinking, and they get frustrated. But they have learned that. Now, if they would not do it, they would have the fear, that's interesting, the fear of being lonesome, of being seen as arrogant. It's still the perception of others on you, which plays a major role. So, in order to make yourself feel comfortable, you try to convince others to change so that you can achieve your goals, and this doesn't work. It doesn't work anymore. The thing works the other way around. It works the way that you change first. You remove the obstacles you have. You check yourself for where are you? Are your thinking full of musts, of have-tos, of shoulds, of it is not possible, of all these things. Develop an awareness where you are constantly in this thinking. Because what is on the outside world has a reflection on the inside world. And what's on the inside reflects on the outside. So the big shift in paradigm is we work with you as individuals. And all of a sudden you will see how things and people change in the outside world. Others won't. But if you practice the other way around, it's even less what changes on the outside world. It's like a perpetuum mobile, you know that. You have one thing, it's connected, everything's connected. One thing changes the direction and the spin, and the other elements of the perpetuum mobile also they change the spin. Now the question is, how do you raise your awareness? What do you do when you find out that your thinking is full of muss and which reflects to the outside world? What do you do with the feeling of, I'm actually alone here, which is an illusion, it's not true. But we keep this as the truth, and in the same way we dream during night, and when we are in the dream, we take it as reality. But then in the morning we wake up, and we see, oh, it was only a dream. So how do you do that? And this is what these are the topics we address in Campi di Benessere, fields of well-being, in our tailored path to support you in your positions in organizations. It's interesting, it's easy, you have the tools, everything is there, but you don't know it. You can set an intention, you can come to the center of your head, you can you can remove energies from your field which are stopping you. This is a different approach. Now you might think, oh, this is very esoteric. Maybe not. Nikola Tesla, one of the most famous physicists on this planet, beside Einstein and Schrödinger and all the other famous guys, Nikola Tesla said, if you want to understand the world, if you want to understand how the world works, you have to think in energies, light and vibrations and sound. And this is a news from a real different world. You have to know that Nikola Tesla held 700 patents. He was building the power plant in the Niagara Falls. He won the competition against Thomas Alva Edison, and this man really was genius. And he had a different understanding, which we start to understand more and more. There is a new path available to get to a different level of consciousness, to transcend the rigid rules you are holding inside yourself and with which you radiate in your environment. It was appropriate until yesterday. If you want really to change something, there is a technology ready and in place. And contact us. We are happy about your comments. We're happy about your questions. We are really looking forward to connect with you and subscribe to our channel. And most important, be pleased with yourself. Nothing is wrong.